And that is a really nice machine that you can get into a small field and get back out easily. Options include the Rival X 14-meter double surface wing, electric in-flight speed trim, instructor package, or a BRS recovery system. The options are yours and available at Revo, Evolution Revo LP16. We've had a number of educational opportunities this week here at Sun and Fun Paradise City in the Forums tent. Everything from learning how to build an ultralight yourself by Charlie Becker from the EAA, Larry Mednick on how to fly a weight shift trike, yours truly Paul Zarnicki on flying a powered paraglider, as well as auto gyro flying by Bob Snyder. Remember next year when you come to avail yourself of the educational opportunities here at Sun and Fun Paradise City 2022 next year. We've got Poor Man's Auto Repair from Cape Coral here. It's Jay is here. He's a good friend of Gary Friedel, the chairman of Paradise City. So I've been warned not to talk badly about Gary. So I'll be a good boy. I'll be a good boy. Plus, I may need to get my car repaired. I don't live far from Cape Coral. In fact, I used to live in Cape Coral. But how are you doing today? You doing good?
Yeah, we're doing real good. We've been in business 36 years. 1044 Northeast Pine Island Road.
There you go. They're on Pine Island Road. That's easy to find if you're at Cape Coral. That runs straight through all the way down through Matlacha. So here we have it, Poor Man's Auto Repair, Cape Coral, Florida. We also have AirTech coverings here. They make paint fly. They're one of the sponsors for the Husky National Stole demonstration that you'll be seeing here tonight. And it's getting a little exciting. I think we're getting close to actually seeing the lineup sheet. Speak of the devil, here's Gary Friedel now. He's the chairman of Paradise City. The chairman and basically the big air boss for the whole thing on this side of the house. And we just saw M Squared Breeze 2 pass by, taxiing. And now the Auto Gyro Cavalon taking off with the red handprints right next to the shark there. Should be interesting. And here's the M Squared Breeze 2 get ready to take off. If I remember, that's Don Reese. Can you not put this on top of my board? Thank you very much. M Squared Breeze 2. And that's Paul Mather. Excuse me, that's Paul Mather flying right there. M Squared Breeze 2, they're in booth 23. They offer quite a few other aircraft if you're interested to check them out. They've got the M Squared Breeze, the M Squared Breeze XL, the 2XD, which is certified SLSA or experimental ELSA, and the M Squared Ultra X. Double surface high wing single place ultra type acrobatic aircraft with a maximum takeoff weight of 900 pounds. The wings are aerodynamically strut braced and with a multiple two brace tail. That's M Squared LP23. That looks like the Aeroprac coming back. Yep. And the Aeroprac A32 Vixen coming back. Dennis Long, been flying quite a bit this week here. I'm sure he's not getting tired of it. He's been flying this one in the Alto North America 912 TG, also known as the Slimer. And the Aeropract A32 Vixen has a very, very wide speed range from 30 miles an hour up to 130 miles an hour. And Dennis Long is the importer of the Aeropract USA. Here's the Bumblebee with the Rival X-Wing. That's the Bumblebee. They're in booth 16. Evolution Revo, booth 16. That's got a 912 fuel injected IS. And that is the LT version with the Revolt wing. Starting to get exciting around here, getting ready for this Husky Stoll National. The tension is palpable. How much time do we have left? So we're only moments away. Only moments away from the Husky National Stoll demonstration here, Paradise City. That was the Skyleader 600 that just landed. That's the Autogyro Cavalon. That's that sleek-looking shark gyrocopter you just saw. It has the shark teeth on the front and the red handprints. I still haven't found out exactly what the red handprints mean there, but I've got an idea. That's the Autogyro Cavalon. They're actually in booth 25. Got a nice setup over there. And the Autogyro Cavalon, they're accepting offers, they're accepting orders for that 915 IS. 915 IS is the fuel-injected, bigger engine, and that would give you some real punch. This is the M2 Breeze 2, M2 Breeze 2 in LP23. Frank Mann is out of the Husky Stoll National Stoll, but we have now heard that Jaden Newman is in. We had heard a rumor that she was going to fly out and go home and not be in tonight's, but it turns out that because the weather is so bad west of us that she has decided to stay and compete with the big boys. I really think that she has been keeping Steve Henry on the ball because she's pushing him constantly. Of course, Steve Henry had some fantastic numbers yesterday. 17-foot takeoff and a 31-foot landing. That's phenomenal numbers, but I think we're going to see something close because the wind is still pretty strong. In fact, last time we looked, it was about 17 miles an hour. I don't know what it is right now. I'll have to check it out before the competition begins. Now remember, this Husky National Stoll demonstration is not for money this time. There's no cash prizes. It is a demonstration. Therefore, there is not a time component. It is strictly safety and demonstration of the takeoff and landing capabilities of the aircraft. We have a number of sponsors that are around. I do know that AirTech Coatings is here. They make paint fly. And I'll get the list from Ryan here in a moment about your other sponsors that are here supporting the Husky National Stole demonstration and other events around the nation. Text it to my phone and we'll blow up one of them instead of speaking all at once. Just text it.
Forward it to Donna at planetctg.com.
There's been a number of sponsors that have kept up with the Husky National Stole demonstration and enabled these pilots opportunities that they didn't have before with their products and services. And we're definitely going to recognize each and every one of them. And we know that a number of individuals went down to booth 41 after the demonstration last night to meet and greet their favorite Husky National Stole pilots. Here's the M Squared Breeze 2 passing by. They're taxiing back to the starting point. Looks like they have a young pilot in the seat there. And that's what Paradise City and Lightsport Aircraft and Ultralights is all about. That is getting the youth into aviation, exposing them to what's going on, letting them grow and mature in the aviation field. We've seen a number of very, very young pilots out here. Jaden Newman is 18. She's also a jet pilot. She'll be competing tonight. We also have Sahara. She's one of our Sahara Billman. She's one of our guest judges. She's currently an Embry-Riddle, and she's 18 years old. Along with Kevin Lacey. Kevin Lacey from Airplane Repo Show. So we've got quite a few celebrities and important people here, and a lot of them are young. It's really amazing how the youth has really taken aviation with the new opportunities they have, especially like the Tango 31 Club that Kevin Lacey runs, the Lakeland Aero Club that Aaron Yichyi runs right here at Lakeland Airport. One of my favorites passing by right now, that's the Orion. That's the Orion right there. Magni Gyro Orion, that's LP10. Magni Gyro Orion. Very, very nice gyro. You can see the engine compartment is partially open. That affords greater cooling. That allows that to run full power for a long, long time. Because the runway has a plane on it, you see another one passing by. Got to stay safe. Keep your distance. There are very strict rules about how you fly and the pattern you fly and the altitude here at Paradise City's Sun and Fun 2021. That beautiful M24 Orion that you just saw, it's a fully enclosed side-by-side two-seat dual-control gyroplane specifically designed for those who want to enjoy some luxury while having fun whatever the weather. The interior of the M24 reflects the company's design goal of delivering high-quality finish using the finest materials and elegant color combinations with the highest possible level of attention to detail. The 82-liter fuel tank gives a capacity to fly over 4 hours at a cruise speed between 100 and 150 kilometers an hour, and that's about 75 to 95 miles an hour. So you can definitely get where you're going with the Autogyro. The M24 Orion, maker of dreams, Magni Gyro. And of course, everybody should know that they've been breaking records with the Magni Gyro. Magni Gyro recently went up to 27,500 feet. That's 27,500 feet in a Magni Gyro. That's the Auto Gyro Cavalon passing by now. They're in booth 25. You can see that the back of that gyro has vents or openings for cooling, showing off different design philosophies between the Auto Gyro and the Magni Gyro. And it's really nice to be able to come to a place like Paradise City, Sun and Fun 2021, and be able to see these different aircraft side by side so you can make the comparisons for yourself. So tonight we have three different categories in the Husky National STOL demonstration. We have the Bush Experimental category, the Touring category, and the Light Sport Experimental category. And I see in the Light Sport category, Frank Mann has been scratched. He was going to fly the Just aircraft Highlander, but he's scratched. Apparently he's not going to be competing tonight, but I'm happy to see that Levi's back in it. Didn't he have some motor troubles last night there, Ryan?
That's right. Levi had some engine trouble on the line yesterday. By the way, I'm Ryan Dombrowski. You'll be hearing more from me in a few minutes. But Levi had some trouble on the line and worked overnight to get those mechanical issues sorted, and he's all set to go today.
That was the Magni Gyro Orion that just took off. Magni Gyro Orion, that's the M24. So in the Bush Experimental class, we're going to have John Young flying the Aviat Husky. We're also having John Wisdom in the Legend Moac. That's the mother of all Cubs. And Jay Stadford in the JS Super Cub. They've done wonderful. In the touring class, we're going to have Andrew Patry in that 1958 Cessna 182B. Bobby Kerr in that 1996 Maul. Warren Gobilar in the 1955 Cessna, which is a beautiful, beautiful aluminum skin. It shines like nothing. And then Sheldon Hetherington in a Cessna 182, and that's all in the touring category. In the light sport experimental category, you got Levi Nugas in the Kit Fox that we were just talking about. Kit Fox is very, very favorite there, yellow and red paint job. And then Chris Grewan in his Just Super Stol. Gary Schmidt in his Just Super Stol, big Tundra tires on those two. And then John Humbred in the Zenith 701. That's UL-powered Zenith 701. Jaden Newman, one of my favorites in the 2009 Cub Crafters, and she is 18 years old, and she's here now tonight. She was rumored that she wasn't going to compete because she was going to go home, but now I found out that the weather to the west has enabled her to stay and compete. Chuck Kingberger in his Carbon Cub, and then, of course, the favorite because of his performance these last few nights, Steve Henry, or Studley Steve Henry, as some of the ladies call him, in that Wild West Aviation Highlander, really performing outstandingly well. And like we were saying earlier, he had a 17-foot takeoff and a 48-foot landing here last night. Unbelievable, Ryan.
Totally crazy.
So we're getting ready to start the Husky National STOL demonstration. We've got the cameras ready. Very, very soon, we'll see the markers come out, and they'll put a stripe on the field. You just saw the TSI Sling landing, the TSI Sling. And the TSI Sling is in booth 21, and that's the airplane factory. The airplane factory, no matter the mission, the Sling TSI can take you there. As pilots rise through the ranks of aircraft, ever-increasing sophistication, one question remains constant. What's next? And the one answer will always resonate. More. More speed, more capability, more power, more capacity. More of the entirety that makes the Sling TSI an aircraft with uncompromising mission to offer unrivaled performance, safety, and reliability in the hands of all pilots no matter the mission. The Sling TSI is not simply more aircraft. It's more of all the reasons that you fly. That's Sling TSI in booth 21.
And Paul, I just got the dramatic point from the director in the booth there. We are live at the Husky National STOL demonstration here at Sun and Fun 2021. I'm so excited to be here, everybody. Can I get a, I see the right side of the crowd. Can I get a big cheer from the right side of the crowd? Yeah. I see a guy that loves airplanes up in the front row. He's got a hat about it. I love that hat, buddy. On the left side, over here, the left side. Let's get a cheer for the left side by the booth. You guys win by default on the right. Good job. My family over here. National Stoll, really excited to be here. One final night at Sun and Fun 2021, and I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how this works before we get started. So, you'll see we've got our judges and officials out on the runway right now, putting some cones out. First, you've got 10, 25, 30, or 50 foot. They're separated by 25 feet. That's going to help us measure, but let's go back to the beginning. You'll see them put down a line across the runway. You may have done this at your home airport, a spot landing contest. This is that, turned up to 11, turned up to 12. Let's go up to 12 tonight, right? It's Saturday, we gotta leave it all on the line. I'm sunburned, I'm tired. I wanna go home maybe after some excellent hardcore Stoll flying. I'm gonna sleep really well this weekend. All right, here's what's gonna happen. Aircraft are gonna taxi up to the line. We're gonna taxi their main wheels. Later, people are gonna be coming up to the booth and asking you, where do you measure that from? It's always measured from the main wheels. So if it's a tri-gear, it's the rear set of wheels. If it's a tail dragger, from the front. Even if they do a ground loop, we're still measuring from those main wheels. The judge will give them the go-ahead. The air boss over in the little mini tower here will give them the go-ahead. They will fly off into the wild blue yonder. We're going to measure the distance it takes them to take off. Then they're going to do a standard traffic pattern, come back in, and they need to land on that line. If you think about bush flying, where this all started, if you land short on a mountain, that's not the best day. So it's just like that here. We need to land on the line or beyond it. You're going to see them land as close to the line as possible, get heavy on the brakes, and once they're heavy on the brakes and they stop, we'll measure where they stopped from or how far it took them to stop. Combine those two numbers, and that's their score for each run. For the folks that weren't here last night, I want to give you a little bit of a taste of what you might be seeing in terms of distances. In the class that is going to come up first, I believe it's the touring class, we had Andrew Patry in that 182, that black and yellow 182 idling over there, combined score of 449 feet. That's a 190-foot takeoff and a 259-foot landing. That's better than anything I've ever done in probably my entire pilot career. That put him in third place for the standings yesterday. Bobby Kerr in the mall, technically a light touring, but he's playing with the big boys this week. 347 combined. And Warren Grobelar in a 180, in a Cessna 180, 298 feet. That's a takeoff of 121 feet and a landing of 177. He was first in that touring class yesterday. We're also going to see other pretty insane numbers. Of course, Paul was talking about Steve Henry. Steve Henry had a combined score of 65 feet in the Wild West Highlander yesterday. When that taxis up to the line, plug your ears. It's loud. It's 300 horsepower Yamaha snowmobile engine that's been modified for aircraft use. Pretty intense. And then, of course, Paul's favorite, one of my favorites too, Jaden Newman in third place last night, 149 feet. But most impressively to me was her best takeoff of the night, 35 feet. 35 feet. I mean, yeah, so Steve took off in 17 feet, and he's got 300 horsepower. Jaden took off in 35 feet, and basically, with a few mods, a 2009 Carbon Cub. Pretty standard.
And she's 18 years old.
18 years old, been flying for a year and 2 months. She's already got a job as a jet pilot that she's got to get back to after the competition this week. Or the demonstration, the demonstration this week. Sure. You want to do the...
So our sponsors tonight, we're going to start off with Aviat Aircraft, where luxury aircraft and backcountry meet. You can find Aviat Husky. Many manufacturers claim to have a large mission profile, but only Husky delivers. With semi-Fowler flaps, Husky allows for shorter takeoffs and landings to get you out of the backcountry in the most efficient way possible. Come and meet America's favorite tail dragger, the Aviat Husky. Faster, stronger, and more.
Also brought to you by Gulf Coast Avionics, the supplier of our Airboss radios for the Husky National Stoll Series demo here today. Since 1984, Gulf Coast Avionics has been a leading supplier of avionics, instruments, and pilot supplies worldwide. You can visit Gulf Coast Avionics in Hangar D, booth 3033, where you're sure to find all your avionics and pilot supplies needs at an unbeatable price. And we've got Andrew Patry taxiing up to the line now, Paul.
Let's mention AirTech Coatings real quick just to make sure they make paint fly.
So this first class of competition, the heavy and light touring classes combined for the demonstration. These are aircraft that any of you or many of you may have flown before. How many Cessna pilots in the audience tonight? Okay, yeah.
Quite a
it's
few.
okay to be proud to be a Cessna pilot. I know Andrew is. You can wait till you see what you can do with a 182 on a turf runway. You're going to be blown away by this, folks.
Andrew Patry's in a 1958 Cessna 182B. As Ryan just said, this is a touring class aircraft. Not necessarily associated with Stoll, is it?
Not normally. I mean, obviously you have aircraft like the 180 that Warren's in, that brightly polished 180 a couple aircraft back. I think people think of that as a pretty standard Bush or Stoll flying aircraft. But a lot of these aircraft, these nose dragger aircraft, definitely not what you normally think. I think people think of a 182 as a heavy hauler, but maybe more of a cross-country aircraft than something that you'd use to get back into a tight strip somewhere.
Remember, we have our guest judges here today. We've got Sahara Billman, who's out at Embry-Riddle. She's 18 years old, as well as Kevin Lacey from Tango 31 Aero Club, also Airplane Repo.
I told you you'd be surprised what he could do in a 182.
That's right. That's an excellent start to the demonstration, isn't it?
Here comes Bobby Kerr, 20 years old, audio engineering student in the mall.
1996 Mall.
Bobby's wearing a shirt today that says, "Hey Mom, I'll be at the mall." Get it? Mall. Dadjokes.com. Here comes Warren Grobelar, Paul.
This is the 1955 Cessna 180 that's just absolutely beautiful. Woo.
Warren's not messing around either tonight.
Sheldon Hevington coming up now.
Sheldon's also in a 182. This one looks a little bit more like the one you'd see at your local airport.
Winds are gusting at 17 miles an hour. It's 15 constant, gusting 17. That'll definitely help them.
I'm sure every Cessna pilot in the audience is watching that, thinking of that short takeoff checklist that we've all run through a number of times. Of course, aircraft here today helped by manual flaps compared to the electric flaps normally. Some quick...
So let me talk about AirTech Coating real quick. I got to mention, since 1981, AirTech Coatings has been revolutionizing aircraft paint. Utilizing polyurethane technology, AirTech Coatings offer aircraft owner advantages of inherent toughness and flexibility, fire resistance, chemical resistance, and polyurethane wet look, and an infinite choice of colors, both standard and metallic. AirTech Coatings will make your paint fly.
Here's Andrew Patry in the 182. He's over the line and safe, working those spring gear. Remember, folks, it's not about passenger comfort tonight. It's about getting stopped.
And, of course, as we know, you want to get on the board. Best thing to do is be conservative at first, make a good takeoff, and get in over the line.
High and to your left, we've got Bobby in the mall. Here comes Bobby working it in. Going for the more, you'll see the touring aircraft typically go for the more standard approach. It's good. Get on the brakes, Bobby. See, he's got that yoke full back for aerodynamic braking.
Warren Gobular coming in.
So, Paul, you and I all week, we've been talking about the polished appearance of this aircraft, and Warren, just before we started tonight, said, you wouldn't believe how long I have to wipe this plane down every night at Sun and Fun. There's fingerprints all over it every night. Can he save it?
Yes.
It was good, really close to the line.
And he stopped very short, too, didn't he?
Stopped very short.
Excellent performance for the first round for Warren Gobular. Nice.
And last but certainly not least, Andrew Hetherington coming in. Sheldon Hetherington. It's good. He's got to get on the brakes. And I'll have scores for you in just 1 second, folks.
I'm sure he went a little longer than he wanted to that time.
All right, let's go down the list. Andrew Patry's first run combined score for the 182, 370 feet. Bobby Kerr, slightly better, 366 feet. Warren Grobelar in the 180, 289. That puts him in the lead for the demonstration today. And Sheldon, you were correct, Paul, that landing run was a bit long, 371 feet for a total combined score of 622 feet in the first run.
This is the start of the light sport experimental category. Here's Levi Nugas in the Kit Fox. And how many of you have seen a Kit Fox leap off the ground that quickly?
Levi is, talked to him last night. I think he's pretty much a cowboy. He's a pretty cool guy to hang out with, and he's only got 100 horsepower, but he's making it work for him.
Chris Greenwan here in the Just Super Stall.
Nothing to complain about there.
You can see the spotters quickly moving to the point where they can identify exactly where he lifted off. Trying to be as exact as possible.
Gary Schmidt.
Another Just Super Stall.
Felt a little gust there right as he took off. I'm sure he was happy about that.
The wind is gusting to 17 miles an hour. That does give a decided advantage to these pilots. Here's the Zenith UL powered.
That's John Humbard, the showman of the group this week. You're not hearing things. It really did beep. Nose gear's already off.
Oh!
Huge vertical there.
John Humbard putting forth an excellent demonstration of a short takeoff.
Here's Jaden Newman taxiing up to the line. We thought last night was going to be her last night. I talked to her just before this started, and she said she couldn't disappoint any fans that came out to see her tonight, so she wanted to stick around and make sure that everyone got a chance to see her.
Whoa! That's a 2009 Cub Crafters, and she really puts it to task. Everybody put your fingers in your ears. Promise you, got to do it. Unbelievable. Steve Henry and the Wild West Highlander. Another excellent number for him, I'm sure.
We'll get some scores for you in just a second.
Jay Stanford.
Okay, Jaden Newman, 41 feet on that takeoff. John Humbard, 54 feet on his takeoff in the Zenith. Levi with 100 horsepower Kit Fox, 82 feet, which is nothing to sneeze at. The Super Stoles, Chris and Gary, were at 141 and 123 respectively. And Steve Henry, 28 feet. Here comes Levi coming in hot. Well, not that hot, but he's coming in.
He's in.
No problem for Levi. He's got to get it stopped.
While they're waiting for the score, I need to tell you that Jay Stanford has developed an electrical problem. He will not be coming back for his next run in the Busch experimental category.
That's a bummer because I put a GoPro on that aircraft tonight.
I bet you had your money on him too, didn't you?
I really did. He was not messing around last night.
I'd say not.
Here comes Chris Grewan in the Super Stole.
Oh, that's
They
a
say
scratch.
scratch. It's a scratch. Landed short of that line. That's not great for the first round. Typically, you want to be a little more conservative the first round so that you're on the board and then you can get more aggressive as the evening goes on.
Let's do a quick shout out to Arkansas. Talk to our friends, John Young and his amazing friends team at Arkansas. Backcountry Stole competition each year in late September.
Here comes Gary, really high. He's got to get harder on the brakes then if he's going to land long like that. The crowd up front here not giving him any quarter, saying he missed it big. Guys, take it easy. It's just round one. Woo.
Get your Husky National Stole t-shirts available on the far end, the east end over here.
Right on the edge for John here, right on the edge. He's got it over. It's safe. Nose wheel, depending on who you ask, how much of an old-timer there, that nose wheel might be giving him an advantage or might be a disadvantage. Who loves nose wheels? Who loves tail wheels? I heard some more cheering for tail wheels. Sorry, John.
That Zenith is powered with the UL Aero engine, and they're in booth 5 here at Paradise City.
Low and to your left, here comes Jaden.
Jade Newman is my favorite. She's 18 years old and a jet pilot.
You see, she loves to bring it in really low. I think yesterday she was about 2 inches off the ground. Oh, it's a scratch for Jaden. Here comes Steve Henry.
Steve Henry, he's had some amazingly good points. Yesterday, he had a 48-foot landing. Let's see what he does this time.
He says he lands with the brakes already engaged and locked. It's all right. He is happy with that one.
So when he does that, I can't tell if he's disappointed or just excited. What do you think?
I think that's excitement throttle usage.
I think he just might want to hear that engine. That's that Yamaha snowmobile engine that he winds up.
So let's put these. Let me give you some scores real quick. Steve Henry, 107 combined. John Humbird, 198. Levi, no guess, 242 in the Kit Fox. And Gary Schmidt, 346. Chris Grewan and Jaden Newman with DQs that run. Little love for Warren as he taxied by the booth here.
A little note for Acme Aero. Acme Aero Fab's focus is to provide products to make your aircraft safer, lighter, and smoother. Watching this aircraft today, Acme Aero does a fantastic job. Come and check out Acme Aero North Exhibits 82 and Booth 83.
Here comes the Bush class. This is what you think of when you think of backcountry flying. First up, John Young just waiting for his go-ahead here in the Aviat Husky. Also John from Arkansas. Here he goes. Next up, John Wisdom in the Legend Cub. That's the MOAC, the mother of all Cubs.
He's got those gun cases strapped on. He means business, doesn't he?
I think those gun cases give him at least a reduced stall speed of probably 5. It probably reduces the stall speed 5 knots. Definitely impressive, and of course, sad to see Jay Stanford with an electrical issue keeping him out of the game.
I just did Acme. We haven't done that. You do that one, and I'll do...
Let's talk about one of our sponsors, Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance. If you're looking for aviation insurance, look no further than Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance. With an extensive team of professional aviators, they will give you the attention you deserve, building a relationship with an agent that you can trust and who has a work ethic second to none. Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance, aviation protected.
Gulf Coast Avionics is the supplier of the Airboss radios for the Husky National Stoll Series demo here today. Since 1985, Gulf Coast Avionics has been a leader in support of instruments, pilot supplies, offering a full array of avionics installation repair services, certified for your certified and experimental aircraft.
And real quick, I just want to point out John Young base on his left base right now. And let's talk about real quickly about another one of our sponsors, the Cub Crafters. This is the Southern Cubs, SWT Aviation, and Boomerang Air. Cub Crafters is legendary, known for its bush flying capabilities and engineering that has further improved STOL performance. The result is a range of modern adventure aircraft ideal for backcountry flying. Pilots are rewarded with not only STOL performance, but remarkable flight characteristics, uncommon comfort and ergonomics, unmatched range, and class-defining utility. Come see the newest lineup at the Sun and Fun Cub Crafters booth and meet your local dealers. That's Southern Cubs, SWT Aviation, and Boomerang Air. And here comes John in the Aviat Husky.
That's John Young.
A little bit of a bounce on that landing.
Yesterday, his best landing was 189 feet. Let's see how he stacks up today. Looks like this was a little bit over his best one yesterday. He'll get a few chances to improve on that.
So this first round, his takeoff was 155.
That's not too far off his yesterday's best mark of 148.
And the landing we just got from John was 265. Here comes John Wisdom in the MOAC. Let's see what he can do. Much shorter on the touchdown. Get it stopped.
His best yesterday was 129 feet on a landing. That looked like that might have been in the 150, 160 range.
And John Young's scores in the Husky are in 420 for run one. John Wisdom 250, so kind of handily ahead this first run, but that's okay. We've got more runs to come.
There's Levi Nugas taxiing by in his Kid Fox. And Chris Grewan. And then following him will be Gary Schmidt. And opportunity to say hi to John Humbert in his UL-powered Zenith 701 in the burgundy with black stripe. and Chuck Kingberger. And then my favorite, Jaden Newman and Steve Henry in the 44 machine. Everybody wave at Steve. You can see him. He's filming us. We'll talk to him.
And Paul, very excited. Someone just whispered in my ear that Jay may be back. Jay Stanford in the JS Super Cup may be ready to go in the next round for the Busch class.
Well, that's really good.
There went Andrew Patry. Here's Bobby Kerr.
Bobby Kerr had a landing of 134 feet as his best yesterday.
Mall Aircraft, of course, famous back in the day for their advertisement with the mall taking off inside the hangar. You can see how that might be possible after watching Bobby today.
This is that beautiful 1955 Cessna 180, polished to a bright shine with the neon green tips on the wings. You can't miss him. That's Warren Gobular.
Warren's from here in Florida. Excellent takeoff for Warren there. Kind of textbook tail dragger performance. Full throttle, get that tail up as soon as possible. And then as soon as you have the speed to do so, pull back. You hear a lot of pilots talking about how they do that by counting. Jay told me one of his secrets is he counts to a song he loves.
This is Sheldon Hetherington in the Cessna 182. Again, in the touring class.
I don't know if I've ever been able to take off a 172. I know it's a little less power. I don't know if I've been able to taxi at 121 feet, let alone take it off at 121 feet. Let's look at some scores. Andrew Patry, 149 for that takeoff. Bobby Kerr, 199. Warren Grobelar, 144 in the 180. And Sheldon with 275 in his 182.
Here comes Andrew back. Let's see if he can beat the 190 feet from yesterday.
He hit it hard, but remember, I keep saying it's not about passenger comfort. It's actually science. Trying to take some of those forces and apply them down instead of forward.
Remember our special spotters and judges here today, Sahara Billman and Kevin Tombstone Lacey from Airplane Repo.
Here comes Bobby.
Bobby Kerr setting it down easy in that mall.
That mall holds upwards of over 70 gallons of gas if you fill the tanks. So obviously not loading it full up for the demonstration today.
I would imagine they run as light as possible, wouldn't you?
As light as possible. When I was putting the GoPro on Jay's Cub today, he was like, "Oh, that's a lot of extra ounces you're adding there, buddy."
Here's that 1955 Cessna.
Over the line.
Warren Gobular. That's so shiny you can see yourself. And Sheldon Hetherington in the Cessna.
Guessing Sheldon had to go around for spacing on that one. That's all right. He can come around and do it again.
He felt it wasn't safe, so did the smart thing. He's going to go around. It doesn't go against him in the scoring. It's all about the safety here, so he'll come back around and give it a shot, nice and safely.
We've got two very experienced air bosses in our little tower to the left of the booth here, and I'm sure they waved him off when Warren wasn't quite off the course yet.
Since 1981, Airtech Coatings has been revolutionizing aircraft paint. Utilizing polyurethane technology, Airtech Coatings has offered the aircraft owner the advantages of inherent toughness and flexibility, fire resistance, chemical resistance, and that polyurethane wet look, and an infinite choice of colors both in standard and metallic. Airtech Coatings will make your paint fly.
Literally.
Everybody likes that wet look on the new paint these days.
Yeah, shiny.
Very shiny.
It's like that song from that Disney movie. Sheldon's coming around in his 182. Runway is plenty clear for him now.
He's on final now. He's got the whole runway in front of him. How do you think he'll do this time, Ryan?
I'm betting impressively. Everything that I've seen this week has blown my mind. Even this touring class, I keep thinking of myself, if I was in the pilot seat right now with Sheldon, how would I be handling my aircraft?
The wind has actually calmed down tremendously from the start of this demonstration.
That's a bummer for the pilots. They love a good headwind to get those landing distances really nice and short. They were excited going out that we had a good stiff headwind heading into today.
It was 17 miles an hour when we started the contest, this demonstration. We'll find out now. It's 6 gusting 16, so it's a 6 constant. Maybe Levi Nugas in this Kit Fox will get lucky and hit one of those gusts of 17. That'll really give him an extra lift.
Obviously, the gusts working against you on the landing, having to carry a little extra energy than maybe they'd prefer. Levi off and running.
It sure helps on those takeoffs, though, that's for sure. This is Chris Grewan. That's an impressive takeoff there.
Love the way that the tires just droop down on those Super Stoles.
Gary Schmidt up now. Another Just Super Stole.
Time that just right. I heard some oohs in the crowd up front. They were worried he was going to start to sink, but he was good to go. Here comes John in the Zenith.
Everybody's starting to call him Roadrunner there because the beep beep. That's a UL-powered aircraft, Zenith 701. Whoa.
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 That was impressive. I like that one. I think he'll increase his standings on that. What do you think?
I think he probably will. Start maybe call him Elevator instead. Here's Jaden.
18-year-old jet pilot.
I asked Jaden about her techniques a couple days ago. I was telling her that all the different pilots have different techniques, and she said, I don't know, I just kind of listen to the airplane and feel it. And that made me really mad.
Everybody cover your ears. This is Steve Henry in the Wild West Highlander. Unbelievable. Yet again, another fantastic performance while everybody is scratching their ears trying to get that out.
So, let's talk about takeoff distances. Levi, 118, a little bit longer than last time. Chris Grewan, 164, a little bit longer than last time. Gary Schmidt, 121, shorter than last time despite the lack of wind on the nose. John Humbert, just a little bit longer with 67. Jaden Newman improving her takeoff distance by 2 feet with 39. And Steve Henry keeping it consistent, another 28-foot takeoff.
Unbelievable. That actually shows quite the performance and the capability of these aircraft. That is in the Wild West Aviation Highlander that he's been flying with excellent results all week long.
He's got some impressive things to check out online. Look up at the 2-foot takeoff. Here's Levi holding on to it.
He's longer.
He saved it so it wasn't a scratch, but he ended up having a little bit more energy to dissipate.
He's got to be a little bit over 200 feet, I think, on that one.
Other thing I should mention about Levi is he has one of the most impressive mustaches I've ever seen on a man.
A man stash.
Yeah, it's really good. Respect where respect's due.
Hey.
Chris Grewan. See him fighting those gusts a little bit.
Just Super Stole. Playing it safe to get the score.
Playing it safe, and again, they're not sure. It always takes a little bit to dial it in with that energy. And with the gust range as big as we were talking about, they've got to carry a little bit of safety in case it drops out from under them.
And you got to remember that flower line that was there at the beginning of this demonstration is kind of blown away. And I think that Steve Henry and some of the other competitors have seen to that. So all they have is those line of cones. It's difficult to see the line.
Gary Schmidt. Really nice. Really nice. It's good.
Clearly less than 150 feet, Ryan.
Very much so, and great round of applause from the crowd for that one. I agree. Totally worth the applause there. You can also applaud his impressive beard. Between him and Levi, we've got all of the facial hair covered. Here's John coming in. He's got to hang on to it. Way behind the power curve, but he's got the power to do it. Plops it on. Wow!
Probably less than 90 feet on that landing, Ryan. That looks good, and that's that UL-powered Zenith 701. And UL-powered is actually in booth 5 here at Paradise City if somebody wants to talk to them about those excellent Aero engines from UL.
Paul, what was your guess? Was it 90 feet? What did you just guess?
I guess 90 feet on that.
It was 91.
Hey.
Very well done.
I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. That's right. I'm probably not as good as Sahara Billman or Kevin Lacey out there. They're doing a lot of the they're waving now. I see Sahara just waving when we said her name. They're straight across from the spectator stands.
Jaden again. Jaden, like her technique is always to bring it in really low. She likes to flirt with danger there. She's good.
She's in.
On the brakes, dumping the flaps right away.
I guess 153 on that. I'll put $1 on it.
153. Let's see what happens.
153 is my guess on that. I'll bet you $1. Let's see if we win. What happens here?
Meanwhile, here's Steve. Steven's mentoring Jaden all week. They've become good friends, I've noticed.
Steve Henry has been impressive this entire week.
Hanging it out there. Oh, scratch for Steve.
He's not going to be happy with that, but I'll tell you, it will make Jaden happy.
It will make Jaden happy. And again, I think you noticed he was a little quieter as he taxied away.
That's true. So now we know if it's quiet, he's unhappy. If it's loud leaving the line, he's right. We've got him now, and that's WildWestAircraft.com.
So your standings for run number 2 in the light experimental like sport. John Humbert's in first place, combined score of 158, followed by Jaden Newman, 167. Gary Schmidt, 261. Chris Grewan, 337. Levi Nogus actually is how it's pronounced, 338. And a scratch for Steve Henry, which I'm sure he's not super pleased about.
And we just saw the taxi back of these aircraft. We got Andrew Paltry, Bobby Kerr, Juan Gobular.
We can talk about our social media accounts, folks. We want to see all the fun you're having right now. You have you have your phone out taking your selfies and your videos. Switch over to Instagram and give Husky National Stole a follow. We're at National Stole, STOL. You can make a pun for us. We love punny jokes. Here's John Young in the Aviat Aircraft Husky.
John Wisdom next.
So John Young's, I think, going to be happy with that. And his last takeoff was 155. That looks shorter to me this time. Maybe even just by a hair. Here's Moak. And I don't see Jay.
I don't either.
Important thing to mention on that takeoff with Moak, it's also always measured by the last wheel to leave the ground. So in a crosswind like this, they've got to get both wheels off the ground before we can take a measurement. So John's left main took off just a little bit before the right main.
We've just been told that Levi Nugas has pulled himself out of the competition. He probably has some issue or problem going on. So now we've had two contestants leave out. That's Jay Stanford. We expected him to come next in this Busch experimental category, but now Levi is out of the competition as well.
Maybe Levi's coming over here because he heard I was talking about his mustache.
It's possible.
Folks, I want to talk about future National Stoll events. This demonstration today and this week has been one amazing experience for me. I hope you come check out National Stoll competitions. Later this year, we're going to be hosting competitions in Gainesville, Texas, Brainerd, Minnesota, Jennings, Louisiana. For more information on how you can sign up and compete, you can visit us at nationalstoll.com or Facebook at Husky National Stoll Series.
Where luxury aviation and backcountry meet, you'll find Aviat Husky. Many manufacturers claim to have a large mission profile, but only Husky delivers. With semi-Fowler flaps, Husky allows shorter takeoffs and landings to get you in and out of backcountry in the most efficient way possible. Come and meet America's favorite tail dragger, the Aviat Husky. Stronger, faster, more.
That was very Daft Punk of you.
Thank you very much. I don't have a big mustache, but I try.
You're doing okay. You got more hair on top of your head than I do.
Here's John Young.
And a scratch for John.
Oh.
That's a bummer.
That's disappointing. He's done so well.
John Wisdom in the Moak should be, short final off to the left.
We've only got 10 more minutes. It's a hard stop at 7:15. Hard stop at 7:15 due to the air show that's going to start. All these aircraft will have to be on the ground by 7:15. Here's Moak.
Really, really nice by Moak.
And a quick stop, too. I'll tell you what.
And Doug Jackson from National Stoll just came over just to confirm that Levi's out for a mechanical problem, so that's unfortunate for Levi. And he wanted me to remind everyone to come check out the pilots. After the show, you can join Husky National Stoll pilots at Booth 40. That's over at the east end of Paradise City. We're going to host Meet the Pilots. Come take pictures. They'll sign autographs. The whole kit and caboodle. You can ask all your Stoll-related questions, how you can get involved in such a fun sport. And in case you're wondering, folks, Kit and Caboodle was not in the script. I added that because I'm a consummate professional.
There you go. Andrew Patry at the line right now in the touring class. And you know that's Steve Henry.
I love hearing the turbo blow off.
That's the pop, everybody.
What do you think, folks? How's this for a great Saturday night at Sun and Fun? Is it okay?
Sun and Fun, Paradise City 2021. We do this every year, and hopefully next year we'll have the Husky National Stoll competition and demonstration again.
Here we go back to the touring class. And he's holding it off. I thought he was going to sink, but he didn't. That was impressive. That's a 182. That's one heavy aircraft compared to everything else out here today.
Bobby Kerr in the Mall. That's a 1996 Mall M7 180.
Bobby did his initial training in 172s and Diamond aircraft, and then he went to YouTube and got inspired by Trent Palmer and Kevin Quinn and decided he wanted to start flying STOL. Here comes Warren Grobelar. He's got his own cheering section right here in front of us.
1955 Cessna shined totally.
Really well done by Warren. I talked to Warren a few days ago, and he said, I asked him, hey, if you could only have one airplane the rest of your life, what would it be? And he was like, well, of course, the 180.
I like the way he did the tail wheel bounce there.
Yeah, getting that tail back down to increase the angle of the attack on the wings. Sheldon. Nursed it off really impressively there as well.
We're jumping into the light sport experimental category, actually. Apparently. Oh, look at that. He's pulling a wheelie.
Wheeliesbyjohn.com. That's not actually the website, but it should be. There went Gary Schmidt.
He must be departing. It is now 9 minutes after 7. There's going to be a hard stop at 7:15. Hard stop due to the air show on the other side.
Andrew
So,
Patry.
How many more they can get in after this?
Little burst of power there. Worked out for him.
We never did find out if I won that dollar or not there, Ryan.
Oh, I forgot to tell you.
Yes. I know inquiring minds want to know. Being the consummate amateur like I am. It's been a beautiful week here at Sun and Fun, Paradise City, Lakeland Linder Airport.
Bobby Kerr coming in.
Bobby Kerr in the mall. He's in. Let's see if he can get it stopped in a respectable distance here. He's got smaller tires. That can't really help, can it?
It depends on what the braking setup's set up for. Talking to Steve Henry today, he was talking about how when he does other STOL competitions that he will switch to smaller diameter tires and his braking is more aggressive.
I would say that the brakes heat up faster and thus are grabby.
I'll buy it. Here comes Warren. Heavy on those brakes.
Beautiful 1955 Cessna 180. The combination of the aluminum skin with that neon green accents is really striking.
We've got some scores in. Run 3, Andrew Patry, 367. Bobby Kerr, 411. Warren, 292. It's still good.
He's in for points.
We'll see what Sheldon does on run 3. His takeoff was 288.
That's in the touring class.
And that final combined score for Sheldon Heather, 628. And as our touring class competitors taxi past us again, a big thanks to our sponsors that make this all possible: Gulf Coast Avionics, Southern Cubs, SWT Aviation, and Boomerang Air. Aviat Aircraft, AirTech Coatings, Legend Aircraft Company, Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance, Acme Aero, Arkansas. I got through all of them in one breath, and I'm blown away by that. Folks, again, if you want to see more super crazy Stoll action, be sure to check out nationalstoll.com. We'd love to see you at the competitions all over the country. My name's Ryan Dombrowski for National Stoll from Super Aero. You can check me out on YouTube, like and subscribe and all that goofy stuff. Really appreciate everyone taking the time to watch us tonight. Have a great rest of your Sun and Fun.
And I'm Paul Zarnicki signing off from Paradise City Sun and Fun 2021, Lakeland Linder Airport. It's been a real thrill to have the Husky National Stoll demonstrations here this week, and we hope to see you again next year.
Paul, I just want to say before we're up, it's been an honor and a pleasure. Fist bumps for us.
Been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. I didn't know much about Stoll, but now I know a little bit about it.
And I know just a little bit too, so we're on the same page. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next year.
Have a good night, and go to LP40 to meet and greet your favorite National Stoll pilots.